But through real estate, honestly, you have a conversation with different people throughout your network and you present an opportunity, an idea, and some people catch on and some people embrace the goal there. And I mean, honestly, I think, having that value from her makes us competitive when it comes to, looking at these deals. Cause I mean, she knows that management side of the business. And at the end of the day, if you don't have the right, operations team, you're not going to get the returns that you're projecting in your underwriting. So that stuff goes hand in hand. So.
Your network is your net worth. Come listen to some of the most successful people I know share invaluable knowledge, stories, and advice in real estate, business, and beyond. This is Weiss Advice. Whether you want to take your business or personal life to the next level, look no further. Welcome back to Weiss Advice. I am your host, as always, Yona Weiss, and with me today, I'm joined by a wonderful guest, none other than Whitney Ward. How are you doing today, Whitney?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
I am excited too. This is a long time coming. I've been wanting to have you as a guest for a while, but thank God business has been busy for you. And I'm glad we finally got a chance to schedule this. So Whitney is really a powerhouse when it comes to multifamily properties. She has recently started the Intuitive Management Partners, which is a multifamily investment company that she is running, coming from a background in property management and real estate brokering, investing. She is really taking all those things together and expanding that into buying incredible communities, affordable housing, and great things to improve the community. She's based in Atlanta. And what else can I say about you, Whitney? Why don't you fill in the blanks?
Yeah. So, I mean, you got the gist. Like you said, I started this company actually in 2019. I came from the brokerage side of the business, teamed up with my director of operations who, came from that property management, asset management background. And, we're really focused on the greater Atlanta market from an acquisition standpoint, and then bringing on our in-house operations to manage the asset.
Awesome. And as you know, it's a pretty popular asset class, multifamily right now, right? People need a place to live and there's a lot of it, but a lot of people want to take it down, right? People want to acquire these properties because they're giving great returns. I mean, what do you think is the main reason why you focused on multifamily than any other type of real estate?
Yeah, I mean, for the obvious reason, when you think about risk, right, and all the asset types, multifamily provides a need. I mean, even when you see what happened, with COVID, multifamily, industrial, persevered. And, of course, there were some asset classes that struggled in the smaller, C space or mom and pop owners. But for the most part, multifamily was able to make it through and is able to make it through. And so for me, it was, what asset provides a need, and then, where can we get in where we had the most knowledge. And, the residential space, I did a little bit of the residential brokerage business early on in my career. So those two markets kind of correlate. And so it just made sense from a standpoint of an asset choice.
Absolutely. It is resilient. You're absolutely right about that. It has always stood the test of markets, no matter what people throw at it. I love what you said, that it's such a necessity. I mean, think about it. It's a commodity that everyone needs. Everyone needs a place to live. And so if you can provide that and provide it as a good investment opportunity as well, you can make money off of it, then, why not? It's very solid.
Right.
How are you going about finding deals in this crazy market right now? Give me your secrets.
Yeah. It's tough. I'm not going to lie. It's really tough, but, people always ask me, like, are you just in the Atlanta market? And my answer is always yes for now. And that's because, the challenge with finding deals is finding, who has those deals. And most times, you're talking 85 to 90% of your deals are going to come from brokers. And so, with us being in this market and having relationships in the brokerage space, it just makes sense. I mean, you have to, and then you want to know your market as well. So it's pretty easy for me and for Alicia, my director of operations, to kind of assess an opportunity, with the snap of a finger, because we know the market very well. But most of the deals are coming from brokerage. I'd say for us right now, 100% of our deals are coming from a broker. And, some are on market and some are off market. And I put those on quotes, actually off market in quotes, because there's really no off market deals. But, there's occasions where you can get a broker that has sent you a deal that hasn't been marketed to the masses.
Mhm.
And so that would, constitute off market. But most of it has to, is coming from the broker side. Yeah.
As someone who was a broker as well, I mean, you spent a lot of time in the brokerage space. I mean, do you prefer that? I mean, obviously, you mentioned you're getting 100% or most of your deals from brokers directly. Is there an advantage of trying to find the hidden diamonds by doing the legwork?
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing. So we focus in middle market. So that's, deals ranging from 10 to 50 million in valuation. And so when you have, that size deal, it's difficult to be, direct to owner on our own.
Hmm.
So, the best way to go about that and really get to the owner is going to be through a broker. I mean, you have the gatekeepers that are, going to answer that call, or that mailer that you send out, and 9 times out of 10 the decision maker's not even, getting those mailers or that email. So it just, and from a professional standpoint, when you can put together a portfolio and just directly send it to the broker and kind of build that relationship, they'll talk on your behalf. I mean, for a broker, at the end of the day, they want to close the deal. So
Right.
the more that you can focus on building out your team and putting that portfolio together, the more likely that, going through a broker, you're going to get a chance. Now, obviously you go through a broker, the price of the property is going to be higher, but I mean, at least, you're getting access to deals quicker. And I think the name of this game is really a numbers thing. You really you want to be underwriting as many deals as you possibly can that fit your criteria.
Awesome. What do you look for you personally and your company, Intuitive Management Partners? What are you looking for that makes a deal pencil out? Like, what are a few factors there?
Yeah, so the main thing is, we're looking at comps, and we're looking to see if there's some sort of growth. So the good thing about the Atlanta market is most of the greater Atlanta market, there's some sort of growth
It's
aspect,
going
whether there's a
nonstop.
yeah, exactly.
The whole
I
place is
mean,
just doesn't stop.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, population growth is here. You got jobs coming here. Microsoft just came down here and they opened up another data center. So I mean, it's just, from a growth perspective, the factors are there. So what we're looking for is to see, how much can rent grow realistically based on the comps in the market. 1980s type of product or newer. But and we're not just focused in the greater Atlanta market. I mean, I looked at a deal. I'm looking at a deal right now that's in the Lake Lanier area, and so we're open. It's just it's really hard to find. I won't say it's really hard to find this, but the challenge is to find a deal that there's some sort of growth play in the rent. I mean, if I don't see, and then I don't see a good healthy unit mix and growth play, then it's just not a good deal in my opinion.
Gotcha. In the actual apartment community itself.
Yeah. So, you tend to see a lot of deals where, the unit mix, is small, right? And so with everything with COVID and everything, we watch and monitor resident trends, and we're seeing like, people are looking for larger floor plan type of assets, especially for the deals we're looking at in the suburban
Interesting.
markets. Yeah. So you have to definitely, we're looking at that combined with the growth in there.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense, especially nowadays. People are working from home
Yep.
more, and that just makes a lot of sense that they would be looking for larger floor plans. That's really interesting. Some friends of mine closed on a property last November in Atlanta as well, and they were multifamily, but they were like townhomes, and
Hmm.
so kind of two-story. I think about like 1,400 square feet each, and so that's kind of the type of apartment
Yeah.
complex that would obviously like to have a lot more more free space, for people to roam around in their own house.
Yep. Exactly.
Awesome. What would you if you could find the ideal partner, right? And I know you guys are investing on your own, right? But is it something you're looking to joint venture with, to partner up with other sponsors to do deals with?
Yeah, I mean, actually, since the last time you and I spoke, I did happen to get a partner slash, mentor, investment committee member that he's an operator here in the Atlanta market. So, he's going to bring a strong portfolio of experience. So for us, we have built out our strategic partners from a standpoint of on the investment management side. So a sponsor for us or a co-GP would definitely have to be an experienced operator or somebody that brings a lot of the capital to the table, but is looking for someone that's going to be boots on the street, kind of do all the grunt work, kind of thing. But yeah, we're definitely open.
Awesome. Well, listen,
You
if you're
can't do
willing,
this business without a team.
100%. And, having that open mind and realizing that you really kind of have to go outside of your comfort zone to, to partner up and realize, if you can't find a deal or you have a deal and you want to make sure to take it down, you got to have the right resources to do so. And so I think that's really smart. Something I've heard from a lot of people. So I just wanted to get your feedback on that as well. Are you finding any sort of creative ways to finance these deals now? I know a lot of people are trying to talking a lot about creative financing and all this kind of stuff. Anything you're doing differently, maybe that others may not be thinking about?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm doing anything differently. We haven't tapped into really the creative financing yet, but like I said, I leverage, some strategic partners that, help on the debt side of the capital stack for us. And so it depends on the deal. But most of the deals we're looking at, we're trying to source agency debt, and with interest rates as low as they are right now, we're trying to get the best rate we possibly can because, obviously that'll make the returns look as best as possible. So
100%. That makes sense. Okay. Well, I'm glad to get this kind of perspective from you. Atlanta is a market that I like myself as well. So I'm just trying to get all the secret strategies from
all the
you.
inside scoop.
Looking to find deals there also. And I know a lot of people are as well. I mean, I just read recently, you mentioned Microsoft is coming down to Atlanta. I read recently a whole slew of companies are finding their home in the growing Atlanta metro, which is
Yep.
incredible because it's one of those cities that, I mean, besides for the airport, it happens to be a great place.
Yeah, no, for sure. You get good weather, you get reasonable prices, and I mean, they just keep building. And then the cool thing I like about Atlanta too is you have, unlike most cities, you're like in the city and that's the city, right? But here, there's so many different submarkets. So you'll hear Greater Atlanta, and that could be you're living in Smyrna by the Battery, which is Truist Park, where the Braves play. So it's all everywhere is like a little city within a city, which is pretty cool.
Right. It is pretty cool. And that really gives you a different pulse on the different areas. And, the house market in each sub-market is really different. I think there's a lot of cities that are similar to that, but Atlanta is kind of unique in that sense that it just keeps growing. I mean, it doesn't stop. I mean, I can keep coming back to that point, but it is pretty fascinating. Awesome. How are you finding yourself any free time these days? I mean, it sounds like you've kind of totally immersed yourself since we spoke last into this business and growing it and working on it. What do you do for free time if you have any?
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, you really got to love what you do because I don't have much free time, but I do find, myself, well, when COVID was hit, there wasn't much you could do. So, and, a lot of hiking up Kennesaw Mountain and stuff like that. But, I'm licensed actually as a broker in Maryland. So I do travel back home to Maryland often. And I don't know, I guess, work out, meditate, hang out with friends. There's, I'm pretty boring, but whenever there's something going on in a city, I mean, Atlanta's starting to like kind of open up and really, not be as strict on certain things. And I'm not, listeners, whatever you feel about that, we still try to social distance and wear our masks, but things are starting to open up. So, you get out and, can sit out somewhere and meet with some friends and stuff like that.
I mean, that's it. Everyone has to. I mean, I don't want to pick on you because, but listen, we all have things that we love to do and enjoy doing. but it's good that you have making the time, because it is important. I mean, the meditating, I would say, is probably the most important part of your day,
It-
because that opens up everything else. And as long as you have that and you love what you do,
You're good.
more power to you. You know,
Yep. You're good. Yep.
we all only have so many hours in the day, but uh, there's a lot you can do with those hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Something I struggle with myself, because obviously I have a big family, 6 kids, and so it's something I need to keep myself busy with work and with the podcast and with everything else. Balancing it is a juggling act, and then trying to find deals. Investing in real estate is some, to add on top of that. So I kind of
Yeah.
rely on teams. Without people helping me to do those things, I really couldn't do anything. How did you
No.
find your chief, what did you call it? Operations manager, chief operating officer, Alicia? What's her
Yeah.
title?
So she's a director of
Director of
operations, and
operations. There you
hopefully, yeah, and hopefully, we can get her moved up to VP. She's actually working on her CAPS, which is a certification in apartments. But through real estate, honestly, you have a conversation with different people throughout your network, and you present an opportunity, an idea, and some people catch on, and some people embrace the goal there. And I mean, honestly, we wouldn't. I think having that value from her makes us competitive when it comes to looking at these deals, because I mean she knows that management side of the business. And
Right.
at the end of the day, if you don't have the right operations team, you're not going to get the returns that you're projecting in your underwriting. So that stuff goes hand in hand. So
100%. I mean, having someone like that on your team is so important. Obviously, you can outsource that. You can have, a property
sure.
manager, asset managers that kind of outsourcing that. And I know people that do, but having someone on your team that can actually handle those things in house is probably invaluable.
Yep, definitely.
You working on any other projects besides real estate, or is that just your main focus? Full in.
Yeah, so right now I'm full in real estate. My goal is to really, get a deal taken down and, under contract and taken down, early part of this year. So that's, they say what you focus on is what you yield results in. And so for me right now, I get friends all the time. They call me and they're like, "Hey, Whitney, I had a friend just text me the other day and ask if I want to do the Kentucky Bourbon Trail." And there's a lot of things out there to do, but I can't commit to anything right now. What I want to be doing is underwriting these deals, getting the deal under contract, and then there'll be a bunch of time to celebrate at the end. But I believe you got to really get after it and focus, and then you can enjoy things afterwards.
Makes sense. I mean, listen, if you focus on what you want, you're going to get it. That's 100% true. I mean, I live by that, and I see that happen all the time. So more power to you. And I wish you to, much success in getting that, because it is difficult. It is something that you got to really focus on and, pray a lot to make sure
Yeah,
to get it done.
yeah. Yeah, when you say prayer, that's been big, because this business is up and down. And to start this business right before COVID hit, it was scary. It was like, what the heck. But then at the same time, on the brokerage side, you're all commission, and you learn how to survive on your own anyway. So I think some of that was kind of built in, but it's definitely a challenge. And it's nice to see things come together, and we're right there. I just feel like we have to keep going in that direction.
Absolutely. Well, Whitney, I want to transition right now to the second half of our show, which we always ask our guests 4 questions. We like to call it the final 4, because it just reminds me of the college basketball days. But anyways, which I think you played also, right?
I did at George Mason. Go Patriots.
There you go. All right. What is the worst job that you ever had?
That's easy. So there was a time where I needed to pick up a second job. This is back in my corporate days, probably like, I don't even know how many years ago, several years ago. And I worked at Costco, okay, and the food, like the warehouse place for the grocery store. And I was in the deli, and it was absolutely the hardest job I've ever did in my life. I mean, I was back there like cleaning 4 kitchens because I was a closer, and flipping those chickens that they make every Sunday. They wipe out of those cases like crazy. But that was absolutely the hardest, most humbling job
Wow.
ever.
Wow. I can't imagine.
So don't ever do that job. But if you ever go to Costco, definitely feel free to eat in the deli because it's also the cleanest place I've ever worked at from a food service standpoint. So they're very at your beard right there. You'd have to wear a cover over the beard, and most restaurants don't even make people cover up. So yeah.
That's good. No, that's important. No one wants a hair in their
Food.
chili or something, right? Awesome. What's a book you've read that's given you a paradigm shift?
Yeah, so it would be by Blaine Strickland. It's called Adapt and Thrive, but it's more from a brokerage side that he brings up potential, like not just shifts, but competition that within your industry that you have to really take a notice to or factor in when you're thinking about your growth for your business from the brokerage side. And we have seen that he talks brokerage, but it could expand to any business in the real estate space. And you see that with CoStar, acquiring companies like 10X, and I think they just Core Logic is another one they put an offer on. But a lot of the tech companies have just thrived, over the past years, and then they've just skyrocketed last year in 2020 because of COVID. So I thought that was an interesting book because you have to start looking at your business and seeing where your opportunities and weak points are and where competition or technology might take over and how will you adapt to that.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I think anyone can really take that and apply that no matter what.
Exactly.
I think there's so much value in that book. So I appreciate you bringing that one up. I don't think anyone else has mentioned that, come to think of it. I do have a pretty good memory in terms of the books mentioned on this podcast. And I do add them to my book list, which I'm never, ever going to get through. But, we have already 100 episodes in 8 months. So
Wow.
If we keep going at this rate, I will.
Will. Yeah.
I'll never get.
You'll just have a forever book list.
Exactly. Have to pick and choose. But no, I appreciate you bringing that one up. We'll put that in the show notes for anyone else who's interested in checking that one out. Third question for you is, what is a skill or talent you would like to learn?
Yeah. So when I do get the free time again, one thing that I want to do is learn how to DJ. Like, I think that's so cool. Like, I just want to DJ, and probably what I'll do is like DJ events when I'm like retiring from real estate and just kind of DJ for fun.
There you go. All right. I don't see.
Does that shock you?
No, it doesn't. Not at all. I just don't, you got to get some of these though. You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I got to get some of those, and I got to get a name. So.
Well, listen, I don't see why you can't do that while you're doing real estate. I mean, think about the brand potential for.
I mean, it'd be awesome.
The DJ apartment investor.
I know. I could like DJ our apartments at our community events.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, good. Okay. I'm glad to hear. So fourth and final question for you is, what does success mean to you?
I actually, when you ask that, it's hard to answer. And I know I don't have all day, but I think success is finding something in your life that makes you happy and being at peace, right? So whatever that is, like real estate sounds cool and everybody wants to do it because, you sound like you're going to be a millionaire and you're going to get to like edit your bio on social media and all this stuff. But I think life is it just really comes down to being at peace, having a relationship. I believe in God, so it depends on whatever you believe in, but having a relationship with God and just being at peace with your life, I think that's success. That's not anything that is quantified via your salary or anything like that. It's just being at peace, having people that you care and love about support you, and just being in that space.
That's awesome. It's so true. Being at peace, that's really what it's all about. I mean, being happy.
Yeah.
That's success. That's really
that's the only thing that matters, really, and none of this really matters at the end of the day. So if you can be happy, you're on the right path.
100%. Okay, well that is probably one of the best answers we've gotten so far. So thank you. We would love to hear where our listeners can find you or reach out to you.
Yeah, so you can find me on, practically every social media, but my name on Instagram is the Whitney Ward. That's pretty easy. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook as well. It's just my name, Whitney Ward. Find me there.
All right. Well, we will find you there. That's for sure. And we'll put that in the show notes. But it's always good to hear from you. If anyone is interested in the Atlanta market, or if you happen to own multifamily properties and looking to sell, check out Whitney
Call
Ward.
this girl.
You'll know where to go. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure catching up and chatting with you today. Appreciate you spending the time.
No, I appreciate you having me on. I love it. Thank you so much.
Well, wishing you much continued success and getting that deal very soon so we can have a follow-up episode to realize how you actually found it.
Right.
And got it taken down.
There you go.
But to all our listeners, thanks again for joining. And remember, the best advice comes only when you ask. Real quick, I have one question for you. Did you like this episode? If you did, I want to ask you a huge favor. See, the biggest thing that helps this podcast grow and that will spread this message to the whole world is that if you leave a review, a rating, and subscribe to the podcast. What that does is it basically tells the platforms that this podcast is out on is that you like my stuff and I'm doing something right. So take a few seconds out of your day, hit that subscribe button, leave a rating or review. I would be extremely grateful. Also, I want to hear from you guys. So I want to hear some feedback. If you have any questions for future episodes, please find me on LinkedIn. Send me a DM, a connection request, Yona Weiss, and I'd love to hear from you.